In this video, we're going to be looking at a new TV series that is very much in the offing called Judge Dredd Mega City 1. Now, for anybody outside the UK, Judge Dredd is a lawman based in Mega City 1. Mega City 1 is the remains of the Eastern Seaboard in America after a nuclear war. And it's set in, 22nd century? And there's a lot of satire in there. It's published in an anthology comic called 2000 AD, which I would say pretty much everybody watching this video will know what that is. And 2000 AD has been around for 40 years, maybe more now. Anyway, film-wise, it's not been great for 2000 AD, especially not Judge Dredd, because we had the Sylvester Stallone version, which, although its heart was in the right place, at least in terms of several members of the production crew, for the first 15 minutes until Dredd took his helmet off, it was really good. And then it all kind of collapsed after that. When they tried again a few years back with Karl Urban as Judge Dredd in the film Dredd, that was much better. In fact, Karl Urban absolutely loved playing Joe Dredd, and he said he's willing to come back whenever they want him. Now, with a bit of luck, that should be an opportunity that's not too far away, because there is a new police procedural called Judge Dredd Mega City 1 in the works. Rob Williams has already written the pilot script, and the plot for the first and second seasons have been laid out. Now then, who's Rob Williams? You're probably wondering. Well, Rob Williams has been writing for 2000 AD since about 2004, when he created a series called Lowlife with Henry Flint. Lowlife is about the members of the Wally Squad. Now, for those of you who aren't really up on their Judge Dredd 2000 AD mythology, the Wally Squad is a department of the Justice Department that basically runs undercover operations where the judges are trying to infiltrate various bits of the city without being judges, basically. One of the main characters in that is a chap by the name of Dirty Frank, whose appearance is based on Alan Moore, and he's been undercover for so long it's made him go mad, but he's a complete genius. And he's ably assisted by a couple of other Wally Squad judges. Now, really, Williams has been writing that since 2004. I think the last Wally Squad series, the last Low Life series, was about 2011, something like that. But he has done a lot of Judge Dredd stuff since then. He's also written for DC, Marvel, Vertigo, the usual suspects. Now then, why is this good? This is good because Rob Williams knows his stuff. He's written for Judge Dredd. He's written for characters around Judge Dredd and in the whole world of the mega cities. So whatever he writes, it's going to be right. And, that is vitally important, really, isn't it? As Marvel have shown. Now then, quote here from Rebellion, who own 2000 AD and all the rights to it and everything, and are making the show, or at least looking for people to pick it up and broadcast it once it's been made. Do that bit again, I think. On the press release that came out, executive producer Jason Kingsley, who is the creative director at Rebellion, who own 2000 AD and also make computer games and all this kind of stuff, he said, I've read the plot script. I've read the pilot script by Rob and the team and got that same thrill I did when I first discovered Judge Dredd. As we drive this project forward, I'm always surprised by how much effort goes on behind the scenes to bring something like Mega City 1 to the screen. I'm very pleased with how the project is coming together and looking forward to more exciting announcements in the coming months. Now then, they are apparently scouting for locations before they start pre-production. Other good news on the 2000 AD front, certainly film-wise, is that Rogue Trooper is going to be getting made into a film by Moon and source code director Duncan Jones, who also happens to be the son of David Bowie. Now then, Jones also directed Warcraft, which actually was an alright film. And he said, for years now, I've felt a sting as Marvel and DC have poured out their entire comic roster onto film. Wonderful for their fans, but every new release I silently scream, where's all the 2000 AD? I'm so excited to finally be able to right that wrong and bring Gerry Finlay-Day and Dave Gibbons as Rogue Trooper, a seminal British-spun war yarn, to the big screen. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about Rogue Trooper, Rogue is the last survivor of the Quartz Zone massacre. He was built to be the ultimate weapon, along with the other genetic infantrymen, GIs, fighting the Nauts on a strategic planet called New Earth, which has been poisoned to hell, literally. So he can survive without a space of basically a spacesuit, and he's got 3 biochip friends because the 3 members of his, well, I suppose you could say it was like a fire team, Gunnar, Helm, and Bagman. He basically, when they died, he cut out their biochips and attached them to his equipment, and they provide almost like a Greek chorus as to all the stuff he does, and they kind of bicker and fall out and act as his company as he tries to track down the traitor general who let slip to the Nauts where the genetic infantrymen were first going to be deployed and get his biochip friends regened. It was a very long-running strip in 2000 AD, and it keeps coming back every so often. So that's good. If you want a quick primer to Rogue Trooper, if you go on Steam and you look up Rogue Trooper Redux, or just the original Rogue Trooper game, to be honest, and download it, have a look at it, it won't cost you a huge amount of money. And that opening sequence gives you a pretty good idea of the setup. And there's been all kinds of other things set in the Rogue Trooper universe as well. There's like Stregear, there's been the 86ers. The Traitor General himself has had a story wound around him. There was also a reboot of Rogue Trooper, but we don't really want to talk about that because It wasn't great, and really it only got more and more confusing and got worse, and well, forget about it. Right. That appears to be all the 2000 AD style news we've got so far. So I'll sign off here.